First, I fell in love with the DJI Mavic Air 1, this little guy. Then DJI released the Mavic Air 2, which was substantially better than the 1, and I fell in love with this. And today, DJI has released the Mavic Air 2S, which I'm gonna find out if I'm gonna fall in love with it like I did both of these cameras. So today, I'm gonna unbox this and kind of give you my general first impressions, comparing it mainly to the Mavic Air 2, my current favorite drone, and then also just for fun, I'll be referencing the Mavic Air 1 every once in a while. Let's get right into the unboxing. Let me move these other drones out of here and pull in the Mavic Air 2. Actually, not the Mavic Air, just the Air 2S. They got rid of the Mavic. The Air 2S, let's unbox this thing. It looks pretty much exactly like the Mavic Air 2. The box, the Fly More combo, looks just like the Mavic Air 2 did when I unboxed that one. So let's see what's different with this one. Of course, DJI has the best packaging. This isn't a sharp knife, kind of like Apple with that pressure fit on the box. Just feels really premium and high quality when you're opening it. So got to give it respect and open it real nice. Now we can pop the top off. Come on. Let's get rid of that. There we go. And this is, get my autofocus. This is the Fly More combo. So it comes with this bag here and then 3 batteries total. This looks just like the Mavic Air 2 did when I unboxed that one. So far, it's identical. Oh, what do we got in here? Let's see. Got our quick start guide. Looks like let's just open this up real quick. Looks like we have probably our propellers, things like that in here. Yep, bunch of propellers. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 propellers, so 3 sets. That's pretty cool. And then I believe these are our ND filters right here. And we will get to the drone in a second. Oh, nice little case here. So we get 4 ND filters, an ND4, an ND8, a 16, and a 32. And that is a huge upgrade from the Mavic Air 2 Fly More combo. You only get 3 ND filters. I believe that was an 8, either an 8 or a 16, a 64, and like a 128. And I begged them that they were gonna release a 4th one, like a 4, 8, 16, and 32. So this is absolutely perfect. Already really excited about the ND filters that they included with this one. And then of course, we just have all our cables, our necessary connectors. That's not that fun, so let's not talk too much about that. All right, so let's actually unbox the drone now. Here we go. The moment of truth. Super excited. Dun, 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 dun. Here it is, and it looks and feels literally identical to the Mavic Air 2. They're so similar. This is the 2S, this is the Mavic Air 2. I'm gonna show it on the top-down angle here. 2S, Mavic Air 2. These things are damn near identical. That's crazy. And then the controller is also pretty much identical to the Air 2, but the main differences with this drone as opposed to the Air 2 is mainly the 1-inch sensor and the 10-bit color depth. Those, for me at least, are the 2 biggest upgrades, and I wish the Mavic Air 2 had in the first place. It's kind of a bummer that I had to upgrade to this drone just for those 2 things, for better low light and for better color potential in the grading. But I guess that's how it goes, and now I'm super stoked to actually try it out. So here's the controller, identical to the Mavic Air 2. I actually think it literally is identical. You could use that controller to fly the 2S, but don't quote me on it. Let's organize things a little bit. We got our controller, our drone, the 2S. We have a couple more things in the box here. I assume these are the batteries because it's pretty darn heavy. Yep, battery 1, battery 2, and I think battery 3 was in the drone. So now we just have chargers and cables and stuff, which isn't exciting. We don't need to talk about this. I'm making a mess. So the charger is exactly the same as the Mavic Air 2. The theme I'm seeing so far is this drone, in terms of the actual physical drone, is the exact same as the Mavic Air 2, but like I said, it's that 1-inch sensor and it's the 10-bit color and a few other little things that I'm going to test out that really do make the difference. For more professional flyers, this drone is going to be a game changer because so far I think it's going to have much better low light. You're going to be able to push the colors a lot farther when you're color grading. If you just bought a Mavic Air 2, don't worry, don't go out and sell it. It's still an amazing drone, and you'll probably only notice these upgrades in this new drone if you've been flying for a while and you really know your stuff. I have another video where I talk a little bit about this, about if your Mavic Air 2 is now obsolete or not. I'll link that video up here if you want to check that one out. So my overall first impressions are very good. I cannot wait to go out and get good at flying this drone, test it out, which is what we're gonna do right now. Let's get into that. Here we go. I'm super stoked. First flight is about to go down. Now, I've kind of had to learn this one the hard way from previous drones, but what I want to recommend before you go out and fly this drone, whether it's this drone or any drone for the first time, get it set up at home. When I turned this thing on at home, I had to do about a 20-25 minute firmware upgrade on good Wi-Fi. Out here, I have no service, so I would have been totally screwed. It wasn't gonna let me take off until I did that. Next, I also got all my settings and everything dialed in at home instead of out here when now I'm chasing golden hour, and the last thing I want to be doing is fiddling with all the settings and getting it to the point that I want it to be. Really quick, I'm going to show you what some of those settings are, and then we're going to go off and do our first flight and see how this thing does. All right, so the first thing I did from stock was I went into my settings, tapped those 3 little dots on the right, and I went into my camera. I changed that from normal to D-Log. It's a flatter profile that enables better color grading, and the 10-bit in this camera is really gonna make that shine even more. I wanna test that feature, so I'm definitely shooting in D-Log. That's H.265 coding format. It's gonna change that from 264, H.264 to H.265 when you press D-Log. Then I go down, I did enable my histogram down here on the bottom left so I can see what my exposure is. Let's see, and then I switched my white balance from auto to manual. I think that's actually a new feature on the Air S2 as opposed to the Mavic Air 2. I don't think I had that control before, so I'm gonna set it to daylight, 5600 Kelvin. Go down, that's good there. Safety, actually the thing I did do was increase my max altitude a little higher. Stock, it was down here. I bumped it up a little bit to here. I also increased my max distance. Out of the box, it was about 200 feet. I'm just gonna push it way up. Not that I'm gonna fly that far, but I have the option. Lastly, switched it from auto to manual settings, which in this drone looks like they're calling it Pro. I'm a dummy and I forgot the ND filters at home. So as you can see, it's extremely blown out, but I'm gonna start by filming in actually 5.4K 24. White balance, you can see, is set to 5600. ISO set to 100, and I did flick all these from auto to manual. I had to go through each and every one. There's shutter speed, manual, auto. I cannot believe I left my ND filters at home, so unfortunately I am going to have to really crank up my shutter here to get proper exposure. Now, this is a huge downfall of this drone compared to the Mavic 2 Pro with the variable aperture, so that when this problem exists that I forgot my ND filters at home, I can just crank it up to like F11 and be good. So I wish we had that feature already, and I haven't even taken off yet. All right, here we go. First flight, let's get it. So far, smooth. Sounds pretty much the same as the Mavic Air 2. Maybe ever so slightly louder, but pretty darn close. Here we go. Very first shot ever. Just gonna do a little slow pan up here. Super smooth. It's looking nice. I can actually already see some rolling shutter going on because of this 1-inch sensor in that rock. When I go side by side, and I'm not even that close, when I go side to side, See how it kind of looks like Jello? That's some pretty bad rolling shutter. Now I want to try the new Master Shots intelligent flight mode. That's new to this drone. Essentially what it does is you hit go, and I think for about 3 minutes, it automatically grabs a variety of shots. So I'm really curious to see if this produces good footage. I mean, if it does, then that's amazing. I could just hit record, put my controller down, and do my thing if I don't have another person here to film me. So here we go, let's test that out. Master Shots. This is my very first time even looking at this, so I'm not sure how to do it. I'm just gonna hit start here. Oh, I have to, here we go. Hit the plus, that's me. Estimated flight time, 2 minutes. Let's start. Tap set flight route parameters. It's giving me a little run through here, a little tutorial. That's nice. You can change width, length, height. That's super cool. A lot of adjustability here, but I'm just gonna hit start. Here we go. See if we can get some sick footage. Whoa, it's doing like a parallax. That's pretty sick. Woo! Wonder if I can move around, if it'll track me. I think it will. I'm gonna go jump on the one wheel. Circling me, it looks like. This looks sick. It did switch back to normal color mode. I don't think you can shoot in D-Log in this setting, which is a huge bummer, but it still looks so good. Hopefully it doesn't hit anything. I think I have obstacle avoidance enabled, but I'm gonna jump on the one wheel here, see if it tracks or follows me. I think it will. About to find out. Oh, it's definitely not. It's definitely not following me. If you're a solo filmmaker traveling by yourself, I could see this being so valuable. You literally just hit a button and it shoots everything for you. Hopefully I can get some usable shots out of this, and hopefully they're not super cheesy. That would be my first thought, like they're not gonna be super cinematic, but I guess we're about to find out. All right, here we go, a little active track action. All right, let's land this thing. We're already on to battery number 2. I could definitely notice the shorter battery life. Dang, that landed differently too. Normally on the Mavic Air 2, it hovers and then goes up and goes down. That just went straight down. I was not ready for that. And there you have it, guys. Unboxing, first impressions, first flight. I'm super stoked on this drone so far, just based on the settings, all the new feature improvements over the Mavic Air 2. I haven't even seen the footage yet, blown up, but I know it's going to look great. By now, I'm sure you already know if it looks good or not because you just saw it. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you see the next one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.